Hey there, welcome back guys. In this video we're going to show you how to print a 3D print with two colors using two different color filaments, because this video comes highly recommended from Eli Dari. He commented, "Hi, thank you very much for the nice video. For a very long time I wanted to upgrade to a higher version of the touchscreen on my Ender 3 S1 Pro. I'm tired of the printer stopped in the middle of the prints, and let's see what we have here. Let's see. I would like to change filament. I have no success. I've been trying for a long time to print two colors. No success. Is there any suggestions? Any advice would be appreciated." And we got you covered, Eli. Don't worry. So the solution to this is going to be in this video. We'll just follow along, and at the end we'll have basically this right here. See that? Right there, half yellow, half bluish green, and there's actually a little trick to it. Why the pause print feature doesn't work when using Cura, but this is just going to be a solution for you. And so without any further ado, let's get started. Let's get that half yellow, half greenish blueprint so that Eli can get his prints, and also you and me can have the same experience, if not better. Come, let's go. All right, so let's get started. All right, so you're going to go here to the link in the description so you can download the fish. This is the Leo Benchy. Normally the Benchy takes about 45 minutes, but I figured out you could actually use the fish to calibrate your machine. If the fish prints exactly the way it's supposed to, you are golden. Knowing that and moving forward, it downloads. You'll see the folder. It'll extract, and when you press it, it'll create additional folders, and then right there, the Leo, and then all you want is the fish. Just the fish, not not Leo, because Leo comes with his boat, and that takes hours. Okay, but you can do that if you want anyway. But for this video, use the fish. We're going to drag it into Cura. All right, we're using Cura. Did it open? We'll just quick Cura again, in case, so that you guys can follow. We'll just enable the cursor so you can follow along. All right, so again, you take your fish, and hopefully on the second try it will load, and voila, we're using Cura 5.7.0, and it'll load. You're like, wait, how is it going to print into the air? You select it, and you have move here, and then you have right here your scale, and then you have here the third one down, rotate. Right? So you select the rotate button, and what you're going to do is one, without reset, second one, lay flat. Okay? And then what you'll do is you press it again, and it should lay flat. And to know if it laid flat, just look on, move it around. Use the arrow key, the up, down, left, right, to make sure it's there. See? Voila. If you tap it again, it's going to move it in another direction. Let's see what happens if we do it again. See? It moves it that way. But you can reset it. See? Reset, but you only need 1, 2, and then that's it. And then double check, because sometimes, as you know, software can be glitchy. And now you see I got one error here. That's fine, because this error is just the thumbnail. If you have more than one error in here, delete any of the scripts, okay? But leave this one. This one is fine. This one will just give you a print preview. But if you do a pause print script, you have to delete it, because it just doesn't work. Why, I don't know. We're going to slice it, and then it'll take, this is why it's phenomenal, because it takes 3 minutes. So if you ever need to recalibrate your board, use the fish. Don't use those prints that take hours. All right, so knowing that, moving forward, we're going to save to disk. We're going to save to desktop. We're going to call it Fish Mix, okay, 2024, and click Save. Of course, we'll replace one that's already there, and then we'll click Yes. And voila, it's saved to the desktop. Now you're going to want to bring it to your, you can either feed it to your printer if you have a Beagle camera. I don't recommend printing this through the camera, because it's hard to resume a print that you're printing from the camera. You actually have to pause it from the Ender 3 S1 Pro itself. All right, so let's go over to the printer. All right, so here's our printer. I have my SD card here. Remember, don't put a file in here that already has the pause print implemented into the G-code, otherwise it's going to screw everything up. So you can have the feature where you have the I'll show you, it's the print preview, but don't do anything else, because if you already have a pause print in here and you pause it, the pause is going to resume, and then you can't reboot it again. Why, I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to go here to print, and see, Fish Mix 2024, and we should get a preview. That's what it's going to print. 10 layers. We're going to stop it at 50%, and there's it right here. I'll show you guys how to do a filament swap. Press play. Now, it's not going to start instantaneously if you're doing this for the first time. Everything has to reach its ideal temperature. So the nozzle has to get to 200 and the bed has to get to 60. And then you do it. I mean, not me, but then the print will do it. And right now it feels really cool. So it's not going to be where it needs to. Since I'm using the, I think I can put this on there so we can get, whoops, a little bit of an experience. So this is an opportunity to check your nozzle while the bed is doing what it's supposed to do in the nozzle, because sometimes you'll see little stragglers, and you want to get those stragglers, because sometimes you might think like, oh no, my printer needs calibration, but it can just be something as little as that can turn your print into spaghetti. And there we go. Looks like it's starting up, and yeah, so far so good. If you want to remake this video, just be careful with your camera on the bed, because it can just like slide right off like one of those things in the carnival we put the coins in. All right, so we're going to stop it at 50%. See, everything is reaching its ideal temperatures, which is great. Let me see if I can go in a little bit closer. Unfortunately, you can't get too close with the osmos action, otherwise your image just comes in blurry. It makes a little skirt thingy, which is nice. Now you have two options. And I'll explain to you while that thing's doing that. We're at 17%. You could cut the filament here, leave the filament in the sensor, and then run the other one through. But if you only have one, then you're going to have to swap it. So I'm going to show you how to swap it. But ideally, you could do that. Cut it, leave it here in the filament sensor, and then run the other one down. All right, 32%. See how it's printing, really nice. We can see some fish bones happening. You want to leave room for buffer. You don't stop it exactly at 50%, maybe at 49 or 48, because you got to leave buffer for the reset or for the the screen prompts. Because if you stop it at 50, you're going to be at 53 or 52. All right, 46. Let's say 47. See, and then pause. Now we pause. See, so short by 1 second, but it's fine. So now for the filament change. So what you're going to do is, right, I'll show you guys. Let's put the camera where you can see it. This button right here, you press it and you just pull it out. If you do it fast enough, like you won't get much stringing, but if you do, hold it and pull it out until all the spaghetti's gone, right? So it might look like this or it might not. If you're lucky, it doesn't. If it does, don't worry, because what you're going to do is you're going to just take a little the cutters that came with the printer, and then just snip it and try to grab it so it doesn't go flying up. It should look like that, and it's ready to go for your next print. Like, let's say I want to use this next time. So now what you could do, right, but most people I don't think have it. I was going to just run the other one straight down, right, but we'll do this so that for those that I'm going to guess that 95% of the folks watching this don't have a double filament hook thingy. But that's okay, they're really cheap. You can get them on the AliExpress website. All right, so knowing that, moving forward, we will get the camera into its position. Now I'm going to zoom in, and then right about there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do next. We're going to string the filament right through, okay, like that, and pull it through. Now hold on to this, because the reason why you want to hold on to it, because it'll uncoil like a spring. And just find the hole, and then just run it through the hole so it doesn't uncoil. And now it's ready to go again. And we'll swap it over, okay, like that. And then again, pull it out of the hole. Hold on to it, because sometimes if you let go, it'll uncoil. I once had it knot up on me, and it was a pain. And run it through the filament sensor. Now, if you didn't already cut it, because you don't want to put something defunct in that hole. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the camera down so that we can get a little bit of a bird's eye view of what's happening here. Okay. Just going to set the camera down. And there. Oh, nice. We can see the button right there. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Because I could always zoom back in so we can get the full gist of it. Ah, there we go. Perfect. So you'll notice that the nozzle is touching the bed. So it's because we paused it, which is great. We don't get that experience that we did in the beginning. Remember, make sure you cut it so it just goes in. Now we just push the button down. Right? It's like the printer knows. And just do it until it taps and touches it, all right? And then now, in the perfect world, if we press resume print, this should pick up where it left off. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit so we can get a nicer, closer look. And then now, we're gonna press play and continue. And it should work, it should resume. But it's not going to start right away because remember, the temperatures have to go to where its ideal point is. And we'll just zoom out a little bit. There. Voila. And we'll just wait for it to work its magic. It's at 125. Usually at 199 it kicks in, but as you can see, the bed has reached 60, which is pretty good. It's nice and warm. You can feel that. And the reason why the bed has to stay hot is because if the bed cools off, have you seen in some of my videos, the print's just going to slide off and the nozzle will just knock it into oblivion, and then it'll either continue printing and turn into spaghetti, or it'll just, keep printing, and then you just wind up with a nightmare that you don't want, especially on a bigger print that can take hours. But I recommend trying this on a smaller file like the fish, and if you get it to work, then try it on the bigger file. Don't print the 3-hour, 6-hour file and assume that it's going to work. Try it with this 3-minute file, and if you can do it, if you can simulate what we're doing here, then you can do it. But the only downside is, remember, you have to not stay near the printer, but set an alarm. You could be like, Alexa, set the timer for 1 hour. And then when it goes off, you know that, oh, I got to change the filament. And that's the only way to do it, because the pause print, for some reason, jams up and it doesn't work. I seen the video online and I tried it. It just didn't do justice. And nice, we're at 72%. You can see. And this is working because we didn't put the pause print into the G-code file. All right. Hopefully we'll get it. It's hard to see from that angle. It's doing it, 90%. Almost there. Again, the 3-minute file works wonders, and you'll know if your ender will be able to do it or not. Voila, finito. And there we have it. The blue-green fish. It's hot on the press. Usually when it's hot, it's flexible, so you don't want to, you don't, I know some of you guys are going to be having nightmares, but, okay, here we go. Usually, as you know, I wait, but I want to just experiment for experimental purposes. I'll leave the camera there. Whoops! Where did it go? Wow, you saw that? It just went flicking. It's right over there. That's why I recommend waiting before, if I can just reach it. And then voila. Yellow and blue. Kind of neat, huh? Gotta love it. And that's how you do it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on the ender when doing it from the G-code file. So the only issue you're going to have with it, as you can see, yellow we printed second, and here yellow we printed first. If you print the brightest color first, it's going to come out nice and a clean yellow, right? And then bluish green on the top. And it doesn't matter because, that's your mix. Whereas here, the first layer was blue, bluish green, and the second layer was yellow, and that's why you have that yellow. Looks yellow, but it's not really yellow. Like this is yellow. It's actually a cool fidget video on that coming up. So that's how you do that. Actually, hey, that's not a bad idea to print this in 2 different colors. And then, hold on 1 second. There we are. And so, yeah, that's how you avoid that. But as you can see, if you're looking for this particular effect, right, then it doesn't really matter. Because when you look at it from the side. And remember, we only did the fish because it only takes 3 minutes. Something like this takes about 6 hours. So you want to, actually, this will look kind of cool, printed in 2 colors. And then when you look at it from the side, right, it'll just be a yellow and then bluish green. So if you're looking for that effect, don't worry about if the second color, you know, was this or that. If you know, because the thicker the 3D print, the more the experience is going to be for it to look that way. But if it's a, you know, like a Big Mac experience, lettuce, tomato, cheese, etc., burger, you know. But if it's for, you know, something like that, double side, then it's a little bit different. And this is why I use the fish. So use the fish because, as you saw, the fish only takes 3 minutes to print. If you're going to don't do this on a file that takes 6 hours. Do it on the fish first. You're like, okay, it works. And then move on to the file that takes 3 to 4 hours, because if you knew it worked here, and if it doesn't work here, then you know there's something defunct with the STL file, or you know, something else. But you know your printer. Oh, and you can also use these fish to calibrate the machine. So if you can get the fish bone to print exactly like this, whatever it's blue, green, yellow, orange, you know your printer's good to go. And then, you know, before I print something like the 3D dragon, I make sure that I can print the fish. If I can print the fish, then I'm golden. If it doesn't, if that dragon turns into spaghetti, you know, then I know I have to start pulling my hair out. All right, and that's it. Kind of neat, huh? How you get that half-baked experience, half yellow, half bluish green. You got to move fast when changing the filament, because you don't want, even though the bed temperature stays at that set rate, you just don't want it to like cool down too much. And also for the nozzle to just, you know, start dropping its temperature too, because then it makes it harder to push it through, and you might get like, sorry, where's the filament? But it worked out really well. You know, it works for, and I've done this before with this one here. So it not only works on 3-minute prints, and in case you're wondering, it also worked on this print I had done back in the day. But back in the day, I had done this because my print, you know, the print jammed. It stopped in the middle of a print. But as you can see, we were able to do this heart fidget, right? And pick up the print where we left off. There's another video for that if your print pauses or crashes, how to find your layers. But that's like another science to it, because it's not as easy as you think. But this is the way to go when you do your half print, one color, half another. And remember, don't make sure there is no other code fed into your G-code file. Like if you have the pause print in there, don't do it, because as you know, and you've probably already experienced, it just doesn't work. And then if you pause it and then resume the print, the print is going to pause anyway, because you have the pause script written in there. So make sure that's not there. But you could have the image preview, right? Mask of what you're going to print in your G-code file. That doesn't interrupt the printing experience when you pause it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped you in better understanding how to pause your print. Just remember to set your alarm, because it's not, you know, you have to say, you know, Alexa set the timer for 1 hour. I don't want to trigger her. You know, then you go back and do it. And because if you forget, the print's going to keep going. You're like, oh no, I forgot. You know, then you either have to start over again, or your print isn't going to be paused at the deal marker. Maybe it'll be at 75% instead of 50%. Maybe it'll be at 20%. You know, whatever number you're looking for on the freeze print or pause print experience. Anyway, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.